Hello guys, welcome to the show, and today we're starting another project which is a little bit different to what we usually do here with all the 190s behind me. Well, we do have a Porsche, so today we're starting another C124 build, and this time the car has already have a 3.6 AMG engine installed. Unfortunately though, there's some sort of an issues where the car doesn't start, doesn't run, doesn't move obviously. It's a very interesting car. It has a AMG Gen 2 body kit. It's convertible, so it's essentially A124. Hardtop, Recaro seats, AMG kitted as I said, very low to the ground. It was a struggle to put it actually on the ramps. We've been a bit busy doing wiring looms, M111 swaps. Flavi's actually finishing this at the moment, and our friends are doing the Porsche over here. We're pulling an engine. This has a 1.8 turbo in it, and if you guys are interested in what is going on with this Porsche, we can do some videos on that as well. But let's dig into this. We need to remove the factory 4-speed or 5-speed automatic gearbox out of it, and we're going to be putting a ZF8HP in this bad boy with max ECU. And in fact, the wiring loom for that car is over there, already done. So we need to remove the stock wiring loom, which has been replaced with a new remanufactured loom, which is very good. The customer can sell this to somebody else if he needs to run it. So yeah, max ECU going in, and ZF to make the stuff a little bit more spicy. 8-speed, 3.6, close to 300 horsepower. I think is going to be a pretty interesting car. So let's have a look underneath. I haven't even lifted it. We're going to be having a first look what is hiding under this. Okay, so the car's on the ramp. It seems like it had new lower arms, some adjustable stuff over there. Pretty good. It's had a full Profusion exhaust from front to back, which is something I like to see. I like Profusion and the stuff they sell. We're going to begin with taking the exhaust off from the headers, because unfortunately there's no breakout point. I'll try and remove the gearbox without taking the front section out. It has a sports cat in it, by the way, which is pretty cool to see. But worst case scenario is these guys have left some space for us to be able to take them from the headers if we need to. There's some oil leaks, but that's to be expected. The car is 30 something years old, like 35 years old, so it's expected. So we're going to remove the under tray, clean up all this stuff, remove the exhaust, and begin removing the gearbox. We drain all the fluids out so we don't get the new floor dirty. Thanks Lee for getting our floor sorted out, and we have more to sort that section out as well. So okay, so the 4-speed gearbox that was originally installed is being removed. The exhaust is hanging down. It's pretty much ready to start accepting some ZF goodies. And Jota 5 Sport has pretty much sent us a full kit for W124. It includes the rear mount, includes the bottom mount of the gearbox that basically just bolts into the 124. We have oil cooler adapter from Cam Performance, pretty good, just bolt in. We have fresh mounts, hardware, all the goodies. I had to outsource 60-2 M111 plate at the back. What was it, flex plate I think it's called, ring gear, starter ring gear, whatever. And then we have little key ring that will go back to the customer. We have the adapter for the torque converter itself, as we are retaining the ZF torque converter. So we have a nice beautiful billet piece over here, which I'm struggling to open one-handed. These parts are a little bit dusty. We've been waiting for some other parts for Matthew's car, you know, the 400 horsepower M111 build that we're doing. And just as today started working on this while waiting for parts, Autodoc dropped off our clutch, which is good. But yeah, there we go. This is our billet piece. Beautiful thing, just amazing. This goes on the back of our engine, and the torque converter bolts to it. And this over here is going to be our adapter, which is again billet aluminum. I'm not going to struggle and open it. I'm going to show you how to mount it on the back of your engine. And yeah, right, so if you have already swapped your flex plate and you have put your M111 sensor in, you're ready to put the adapter plate. Now, depending on the M111 sensor, some of them might require a tiny washer, and I usually pick one of these, just basically a very thin M6 washer. It's about a mil. Perfect. It doesn't touch, it doesn't do anything. It's just the perfect size basically. So the flex plate is in place, obviously. We're ready to put our adapter running. And the adapter itself from Joppa Sport has a very nice dowel pins on both sides, which are going to locate it exactly where it needs to go. Just like that. It's a very nice secure way of mounting it. Obviously, thread lock on your bolts. You need to make sure that this puppy ain't coming out of there. Not that it can, because majority of the bolts get kinda hidden behind the gearbox, so you can't really get loose, but obviously better be safe than sorry. And I'm gonna torque these in place. Just need to open on the website and see what the torque specs were. A little bit too heavy on it. That should be fine. Screw them all in. And the electric ratchet first. Alright, and now we are ready to put the gearbox in, but the only problem is the gearbox is not ready to go in because we need to cut a small section out of the box so our starter can fit, because usually on the ZF the starter is on the opposite side. You see that big hump over here? That's usually where the starter is on the BMWs. Now it would have been amazing if the 190 starter moves over there, but I think that's a bit too much work, and Jota Sport have chosen to keep the Mercedes starter and not mess around with all the stuff. So I mean, there's steering linkages and stuff like that. It would have been nice, but it's not really easy solution. So this is ready. We can bolt the starter in place now, because the starter now gets bolted for the front section with the M8 bolts, which they have supplied, by the way, with the sleeves as well, so the starter doesn't move up and down. So we can bolt the starter, and potentially we can start now the engine, even though it doesn't have a transmission in it. But let's have a look at the gearbox, and let's have a look and see what exactly we need to trim out of that box, so we can continue forward and slap the box in, get a drive shaft measurement, and get this car off the ramp and get Matthew's 400 horsepower M111 turbo build back in place. So chop chop. Alright, so there she is. Gearbox is in and mounted. I had to modify the mount a little bit that we got, and I think that's because we ordered the wrong mount. But that doesn't really matter, it's all bolted in. It's using the factory tunnel points where the original gearbox would have mounted, and I managed to make the original mount, the aluminium one, to work absolutely fine. So not really a problem, if that makes sense. So it's all painted again in black. There's a drip from the oil pan because they didn't empty the gearbox before shipping it out, and the torque converter, and they cracked the sump. So yeah, my floor is a mess now again, but that doesn't really matter because the gearbox is installed. Next thing that we need to do is we need to measure for a drive shaft, because I need to get that custom made, and unfortunately there's no magic stick that will tell me the number before, you know, I do all this. Alright, so I pulled the tape measure and I saw something very familiar and decided to give it a try, and there we go. We've got a torque stick installed. Basically the original OEM, what is it, 5-speed or 4-speed, the original gearbox that came in the car. The drive shaft fits exactly perfectly in place. The only thing that you need to do is on the rubber donut, there's a little edge that usually goes in the yokes of the gearbox. You have to grind that down, and everything else, the bolt pattern fits, everything fits lengthwise perfect. So we've got a prop shaft done. So tomorrow I'm gonna finish up the wiring loom for this car, which needs the 5 wires that go to the gearbox, the 5 wires that go to the shifter, put the exhaust back on it, and we should be able to hear it run and see it move. If it's not tomorrow, it's going to be Wednesday. Today's Monday, so 1-2 days more and the car should be back on the road, and sit in the corner and wait for tuning. Meanwhile, we can do some body work on it because it's got some scuffs and whatnot the customer will take care of. But yeah, I'll see you guys in a couple of days, tomorrow, Wednesday, I don't know.